I've got this incredible car magnetic mount slash charger. Now, just a quick note, it does work through USB. So any modern car will have a USB slot you can plug it into. Now, I've got a bit of a more old-fashioned car where it's got the cigarette lighter. And when you plug stuff into that, it takes like 7 years to charge. So I've been using this as a bit of a hack in an old car. I've got a battery pack I plug it into. And then what I'm able to do is charge my phone on the move whilst actually having it mounted up and being able to use the map. So it's really convenient for that if you've got an older car. So let's get straight into this. So this is the mount here. And basically what we're able to do is put this onto a phone. So I've got a phone here, it clips on like that, and then it charges instantly. Now that is a very strong magnetic clip. Now, just so you are aware, you do need one of the older iPhone models that is MagSafe compatible, and that will plug on like that, and you can see at the top it's charging. And it does a 15-watt charge, which is very, very quick as well. So it's a fast charge. And, you know, if this is bouncing around in a car, it's not going to go anywhere, which is really, really important. And that's kind of one of those, you know, look, I'm shaking that about and it's not going to come off. So we've got a really good hold onto that. Now, there's a couple of different compartments, which I really like, which go onto the back of this to keep your phone wherever it needs to be. Now, it's really simple to undo. I'm going to take the phone off of it for now to show you. You get this little screw bit here like that. You just unscrew that like that. And then you can pull the actual sort of clip out of it. And then that just comes out like that. And then basically what you do is you put the ball back on top. And then that screws on a little bit like that. And then that goes into there like that. And then you've got your secondary mount. So there's two different mounts, which are both really cool and convenient depending on what sort of car you've got. And this is why I like that there's two, because this one here, this one's quite a cool little feature actually. This one goes on to like air vents. And again, this is why I really want to show you this, because, and you can unscrew it like that. And what that does is it will clip onto an air vent. Now, what I have in this car is I don't actually have an air vent that would make sense to use it on. That's why it's absolutely incredible that you get both mounts, because this one here with this is 3M tape, by the way, which is some of the strongest stuff you can get, is going to easily work anywhere. So in theory, you could actually clip it onto the edge of the window. Or if you wanted, you could clip it onto there and then stick it up like that. And then the phone could sit there. You know, you can kind of put it wherever's convenient for you. It depends on what type of dashboard you have. Whatever you want to do, really, you can put the phone in any position and it just sticks on. It's that simple. And trust me, because that's 3M, when it's stuck on, it's not going anywhere. Now, when you've got it stuck on, you've got this really simple toggle here that basically locks the mount. And that's quite important because when you've got your phone on it, you're not, so now it's not going to freely move because I've locked it. And that gives you that extra bit of support. So this is actually a really cool way that they've done it. So, and again, unscrew that, then you can control where you want to put it, and then tighten it back up. So both of those can easily snap on to the wireless charger. But this is kind of the more unique one I wanted to show you. And it basically means you can put it into a vent. So I've got these little vents up here. You obviously wouldn't put it over the side, but the idea is that you push it back and it hooks on. Now, again, this is what I was showing you. It doesn't actually work on the mini vents. That's why it's fantastic that you've got both. But if you've got a more sort of typical ventilation system, this will basically go down in and it'll hook onto the back, and then you tighten it up like that, and then it's going to wedge it onto the vent. Now, I really like this one because when it's wedged onto the vent, you can just unscrew it to take it off. So it's a really simple way to do it. I mean, if you look up here, you obviously wouldn't mount here, but it basically hooks around like that. And then what you'd be able to do is tighten it up. So it would actually clip onto that vent like that. And then technically you could do it like that. So that would be another good case scenario. And again, the good thing with the vent is that when you've got the vent on, what you're able to do is then just stick your phone to it wherever you want it. So I've just got it stuck up there for now. And that's just using the magnetic grip. And that's going to be really, really sturdy. Like it's quite difficult to actually take the phone off of it. And as you can see, I've put it on here and it's starting to charge. So you've got a really nice, clean way to mount your phone there. And it will just sit there. So when you're driving, you've got a really good view. And then because you can actually sort of move it around a bit, you've got a decent amount of flexibility to actually adjust where you want it. You know, it's really simple. And then once you're done, you can just unscrew it and take it off, or you just pop the phone off like that, and then you can leave it up there. So just to recap, so again, just to answer a quick question for you, we've got the S25 Ultra here, and this is the latest iPhone, and they're both good phones, but Apple's the only one that's got the MagSafe built into it, and that's going to clip onto here. So this one won't clip onto there, so it's not compatible with the latest Samsungs unless you've got a MagSafe case on the back. So technically this can work on any phone. You can just, if you've got an Android phone, you can swap it out for a MagSafe case, and that's going to allow you to use Android as well. But it will technically charge an Android, but the thing is, the magnetic isn't strong enough without the case. So it does work if it's flat down, so I tested that earlier. So it's very, very simple. Then you can unscrew that like that. Then you can take that hook off of there. So like that, and then you've got this brilliant thing just taken out like that. So it's actually probably one of the better ones I've seen. Sorry, I did leave, I want to take this off, satisfying. There we go. And again, look at the strength of that. That's absolutely ridiculous. And what you also get in the box, you get a wipe, which is important for putting it on a surface. You want to wipe it down before you use the 3M strips. So you get that in there, and you get a load of warranties and bits and pieces in there. So this mount is absolutely fantastic. You're going to be able to use the MagSafe, charge iPhones. Again, if you've got an old-fashioned phone, you can use a battery pack. An old-fashioned car, you can use the battery pack. If you've got a modern car, you can just plug it straight in. I mean, it kind of does it all. You're not limited. It doesn't really matter. Like, to be honest with you, I'm probably not even going to ever use that with the charger. That itself is one of the most convenient ways I've ever mounted my phone in a car. So I'm actually quite blown away how well that worked over there. But yeah, I think this is really good, suitable for basically any car, and perfect for iPhone. And if you've got a MagSafe case, you can slap that onto an Android as well. Fully recommended. I've gone on various journeys with it, and my phone has never actually fallen off. It's just strong, it's durable, and it's really, really good.